you very much. And thank you for being here tonight. This is a very exciting night for me because I got to buy a new dress. Do you like it? Yeah? It's by my favorite designer. His name is On Sale. Also, it's exciting because it's the night of my new HBO special and it's my wedding anniversary. I've been married for 7 years. I can't believe it either. Time flies when you're driving someone crazy. Yep. Just 7 years ago today, he looked at me and said, "I do." And I looked at him and said, "Why did you say it like that?" My in-laws were just visiting from England, and we had a good time, except they wanted to go to Disneyland, and we had to take them. Older people have different needs at Disneyland than younger people. My mother-in-law said, "Oh, look, there's Mickey. Maybe he knows where we can get a gin and tonic." There's certain things that can never be agreed upon in a marriage, like the temperature. I'm always cold. He's always hot, and my feet are always freezing. That's the nightly weather report from our bedroom. It's a very serious problem, really. If I turn the heat up high enough to heat my feet, I'll cook my husband. There's a new car that addresses that problem. Have you seen the new dual climate control car? We test drove one. I turned my side up to 80. He turned his side down to 30. Halfway around the block, clouds began to form. There's certain things that I don't understand about him. I'll never understand. For instance, whenever we go on a long trip in the car, he hates to stop to let me go to the bathroom. I don't know why. All I know is if we're going for a long trip in the car for 3 days before that, I'm off liquids. He'll say, "We can't get off the highway here. We won't be able to get back on." Are there places like that in America? Where if you get off the highway, you have to live there? And there are things he can't understand about me. I have to talk to my girlfriend every day on the phone. And he'll say, "Why do you have to talk to her again today? You just talked to her yesterday. What could you possibly have to tell her?" I say, "Well, for one thing, I have to tell her you just said that." He has one friend he talks to every 2 years for 7 seconds. I say, "How's Jim?" He says, "I don't know, I didn't ask. I didn't feel it was any of my business." He hates my handbag because it's messy, it offends him, and he tries to clean it out and I won't let him because I like it like that. I do. I like the loose change in the bottom, mingling with the dirty mints. It makes my quarters smell fresh. There are things that are wrong with our marriage. Neither one of us is handy. We had a flat tire. We looked so pathetic standing on the side of the road. A little old lady stopped and changed the tire for us. And this is so important. This is a warning I have for you. Before you marry someone, do you know that you have to make sure that one of you kills bugs? It's so important. We've married each other, neither one of us performs that function. A bug walks in our house, we don't know what to do. We just stand there and stare at it till it becomes so uncomfortable it leaves. I think there are secrets to a good marriage. For one thing, I never say, "I told you so." I hum it. I go, he doesn't know what I'm doing, and it makes me feel much better. And he's not allowed to say, "while you're up." Men love that phrase. While you're up, and you're on your way to the kitchen, why don't you wash the car? Little bits of your brain start to go when you're married. I suffer from mustard Alzheimer's. Whenever I go to the grocery store, I can't remember if I bought a jar of mustard last time, or if I need a jar of mustard. We have 800 jars of mustard. And he suffers from something lots of men suffer from: refrigerator blindness. He can't see anything in a refrigerator. He'll stare in it for hours. He won't move anything in the refrigerator. If he doesn't see it, it isn't there. He'll say, "Where's the tuna fish?" I'll say, "It's behind the milk." Move the milk. He'll say, "I don't want to move the milk." Because for some bizarre reason, if he moves the milk and the tuna fish isn't there, the milk won. And men hate to be wrong. I'm wrong all the time when I say it. "I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'm sorry, I was wrong." It's so easy. The closest my husband gets is, "I'm sorry, you were wrong." I told him he had to get more in touch with his feminine side. He said he was trying to, but it was always on the phone with its girlfriend. Your mail changes after you get married. Nobody writes to you anymore. You just get bills and junk mail. Tons of junk mail. They're so desperate, they'll write anything on it to make you open it. Urgent, top secret. I got one that said, "We have your parents." And I get pleads from magazines to take them back. Once you don't reorder a magazine, they'll never stop bothering you for the rest of your life. I finally wrote a letter to Newsweek and I said, "Look, it's over." I sent them a picture of Time. I said, "This is who I'm seeing now." Relationships do get complicated when you get older. I have various friends in various states of relationship. One of my girlfriends, she's so determined to stay faithful to her boyfriend. She refuses to sleep with her husband. I read a survey. Most couples fight about money. We're lucky we don't fight about money. We think you should spend it because you put it in the bank and the bank goes under and then you feel really stupid. And do you know why banks go under? Bad investments. I didn't know they were going to take my money and make investments. I think if they're going to do that, they should ask me first. I do. I think they should call me up and say, "Hello, Rita. This is the bank. We're thinking of loaning some money to an idiot. Are you in?" We have our jobs that we've divided that we do around the house. I take out the garbage. You know why? Because the first week we were married, I accidentally took out the garbage. You have to be so careful what you do that first week. I recommend sitting very, very still and saying, while you're up, and I can't take the garbage out anymore because we've switched to recycling, and I can't do it right. I try so hard. I put the bottles in one can, and then the cans and the leaves, and I put it all out on the street, and the garbage person left a great big red tag and said, "You didn't do this right. We won't take it." I'm currently attending garbage night school. You know what I really like about recycling, though? I don't know my neighbors' names, I don't know what they do for a living, but I know how much they drink. And my husband does the accounting in the family. I'm not good at math. I've never been good at math. I accepted it from a very early age. My teacher would hand me a math test. I just write on it, "I'm going to marry someone who can do this." I'm not saying women are bad at math. That's sexist. I'm saying I am bad at math. That's true. I have my own methods of accounting. I'll give you an example. I bought a suitcase all leather, $300, but it was on sale for $150. I really needed a suitcase. I figured I would have spent $100 on a cheap suitcase, so in my mind I've only spent $50. I also saved $100 on a dress that I bought on sale. So I put the money I saved against the money I spent, and really by buying that suitcase and that dress, I made $50. I used to do the checkbook in the family, but my husband insisted that the checkbook match the bank statement exactly. He needed that in order to be happy. I didn't need that in order to be happy. When I was doing the checkbook, I was happy if one of my numbers was included in their number. And he'll sit there for hours. It doesn't matter how long it takes him. He will sit there until the checkbook matches the bank statement exactly. Once he sat there for about 11 hours. He wouldn't move. Finally, he said, "Rita, come here. What's this, plus 50? I showed him the suitcase. We're trying to do different things in our marriage. We took a cruise this year because friends of ours took a cruise and they had a great time. It depends on the boat. Did you know that you have to get on a good boat? They've got the fantasy and the ecstasy. We were on the hysterectomy. just not a daredevil. I'm trying to be more carefree. I really am. I'm going to water ski someday. As soon as I can mentally separate it from being dragged by a boat. I almost flew in a helicopter. I did, but you know what you have to do before you get in a helicopter? You have to tell your weight. I was sitting in the helicopter, and I looked around. And I thought, you know, if everyone is lying like I'm lying, we're going down. I'm afraid of planes. I don't trust the oxygen mask. I don't think it's going to save my life. Do you? The little orange cup attached to that bag that's full of nothing? Maybe I'm cynical. I don't even think it's an oxygen mask. I think it's more to just muffle the screams. I don't come from a very brave family. That's my problem. My dad is a lawyer. My dad's a lawyer who doesn't like to argue. We weren't a wealthy family. The other guy would state his case. My dad would stand up and say, he has a point. My mom just went back to work. She opened up a clothing store, and she's having such a good time because the dresses come in, and she just marks them down and buys them. My parents were strange. When I was growing up, my dad was never allowed in the kitchen. He'd have to stand outside the doorway, and my mother would say, "What do you want?" And he'd say, "A glass of juice, please." And she'd say, "Stay there. I'll get it for you." And he'd just stand there and look through the electric fence. I'd say, "Mom, he's a lawyer. He can get himself a glass of juice." And she'd say, "No, he can't. It's behind the milk." We always had two sets of dishes when I was growing up. We had the everyday set of dishes and the good set of dishes. Did you have those? And the everyday set of dishes were to be used every day. And the good set of dishes were to be used under no circumstances. We never met anyone important enough to use those dishes. And my mother was such a bad cook, she didn't deserve good dishes. She once made this rice. You can't undercook it, you can't overcook it. She lost it. She once made carrot cake. She didn't grate the carrots. She baked them whole into the cake. She even left those green things hanging out the sides. She said they were cake handles. Most turkeys taste better the day after. My mother's tasted better the day before. That's why I don't cook. She didn't teach me. I like to create my own recipes. I created a dish that was not only delicious the other day, it was chewy. Spaghetti with gummy bears. We just started eating Japanese food, and I really like it, but I have a warning for you here, and that warning is about wasabi. See, a few of you know. You'll know I'm telling the truth. It's Japanese hot horseradish. There's nothing hotter than this. It's light green. It doesn't look hot. Looks calm and tranquil and friendly. And the Japanese people put a great big glop of it on your tray. They don't tell you what it is. It doesn't come with hazard cones around it or anything. And I thought it was avocado. And I love avocado. So I took a great big bite of it, all by itself. And I actually saw my own nostrils. I was a vegetarian for a while, but I quit because that has side effects. I found myself sitting in my living room starting to lean towards the sunlight. And you know what I've noticed? Because we eat out so often, waiters and waitresses are becoming much nicer and more caring. They are. I'll give you an example. I used to pay my check. They'd say, "Thank you." Remember that? That graduated into, "Have a nice day." That's now escalated into, "You take care of yourself now." The other day I paid my check. The waiter said, "Don't put off that mammogram." Going out to eat is so much easier when you're married, because if a piece of food gets in the wrong place on the other person, you just reach over, you take it off. If you're on a date and a piece of food wanders into the wrong spot, you just have to avert your eyes and hope an act of God takes it away. And we knew we wanted to be together, but we weren't sure about the wedding thing. He even gave me this ring on the condition I wouldn't call it an engagement ring. I said, "I'll call it a can opener, just give me the ring." I love my ring. He gave it to me on Christmas, and I was so excited, but sometime before he dies, he owes me a present. Always trying to combine. They think we're so happy we're not paying attention. And that's left over from my childhood, because my whole life, my parents combined my birthday with Christmas. And you know how frustrating that is for a child, especially because I was born in July. I was shopping for my friend's little girl's birthday, and you know, toys have changed since I was a kid. We have Dr. Barbie now. Have you seen Dr. Barbie? She's wearing a little lab coat and has a little stethoscope, but she's still wearing a short, tight skirt and 9-inch heels. Evidently, she's a doctor, but she's still a prostitute on the side. My husband's very easy to buy for. He loves technology. I bought him a telescope. We couldn't find the moon. We could see the moon with our naked eye. But when we looked behind the very expensive telescope, the moon would disappear. Finally, we did find it, and it was interesting, the nooks and crannies and different terrains, and then we realized we were looking at our neighbor's bald head. Some technology is so advanced, it's scary. Have you seen the new VCR Plus, where you just program in the number of what you want to watch, and it turns on your TV, it tapes it, turns it off. It's amazing. We got the very latest one, the new VCR Opinion Plus. Programmed in what we wanted to watch, came back home, turned on the television. It said, I enjoyed it, I didn't feel it was for you. And also, my husband likes medical equipment because he's a great big old hypochondriac. I tell him he should have married a nurse. She could take care of him. I'm a comedian. I can only make fun of him. He gets diseases that don't exist. He makes them up. They're his own very special personal diseases. He gets a disease, it's called left. Everything hurts on his left side. And he walks around the house very slowly and says, I'm sorry. Can't really move very fast today. Have left. Luckily, I've discovered a cure for left, but it involves a baseball bat. And it gives him right. And heaven help me when he gets a cold. There are 3 stages to a married cold. The first stage is, I'm getting a cold. The second stage is, I have a cold. The third stage is, you know, you were the one who gave me this cold. Doctors still don't know what to do about colds. So now when I get a cold, I sit in a draft till it develops into something that they have a cure for. Doctors don't know much. I had the flu. I went to the doctor. He said, drink loads of water. That's what he said. I said, well, I don't think that's going to be possible because I'm going on a long trip with my husband. Aspirin is the most amazing drug to me because you can take it for anything. You can take it if your head hurts. You can take it if your foot hurts. How does it know which way to go? I guess that's why you have to take 2. Men are very confident people. My husband's so confident, he thinks that when he watches sports on television, that if he concentrates, he can help the team. And if they're in trouble, he coaches them from our living room. And if they're really in trouble, I have to get off the phone in case they call him. Men and women definitely like different sports. He loves the fights. I don't like them. I worry not about the fighters. They can take care of themselves. I worry about that great big jeweled belt they fight over. I worry about what they're going to wear that with. We went to the fights, and I didn't know. It's not just the main fight you're going to. It's all the preliminary fights before the main fight. The earlier you get there, the less important the fight. We got there very early. It was the Rosenblatts arguing about where to send their son to college. I'm not a confident person, and I did a terrible thing, and I'm not proud of it. When my husband and I first got together, I had a thing. I didn't want him to see me without makeup. I waited till he went to sleep. Then I'd tiptoe into the bathroom. See, I'm not the only one. I'd tiptoe into the bathroom, and I'd wash everything off. And then I'd get up before he got up. And then I'd sneak things back on again. I was exhausted. But I was beautiful. Everything was going great till he had a nightmare. He woke up at 4 a.m. and he switched on the lights. And I said, anything I can do? And he said, who are you? Women, we have so much going on. Men, you're so lucky. You get up, you shave, you get dressed, you go. We get up, the procedures begin. We have so many layers we have to cleanse and tone and moisturize, then apply sunscreen and foundation and powder and blush, then we're ready to start our eyes. You shouldn't yell at us that we get places late. You should applaud us that we get any place at all. It's hard being a woman. It's like being a female impersonator every single day. I like makeup, but you know what I like more than makeup? The free gift. Women are all nodding and men are all looking at me like I'm crazy. I have to tell you about the free gift. Are you ready? Okay, here goes. If you spend $25 on something you don't want, you get 5 tiny items that you don't need. And if you're really lucky, they come in a tote bag that you won't use. I buy any cream that says it's going to make me younger. I bought this new wrinkle cream. It was guaranteed to keep my skin wrinkle-free. I don't know what's in it. I think it's the same stuff they put in sheets. I bought a new lipstick guaranteed to stay on for 24 hours. Got it on my teeth. I did another horrible thing that I'm not proud of because I was insecure. The first time I sat on my husband's lap, I cheated. See, I'm not the only one. And I left a little bit of the weight on my legs. And he'd say, sit back. You could sit back. And I'd say, I'm sitting back. I'm just really light. Then I lost my balance and I did sit back and he started to cry. It's very hard to stay in shape, though. Every morning I set my alarm an hour early so I can exercise for an hour before I have to be any place. And every morning the alarm rings and I realize I was only kidding. I like to watch the muscle men, though, on television. Have you seen them competing in the lumpy competition? I like to watch them because they can't pose and smile at the same time. I joined a gym and then they changed all the machines to computers and I couldn't work any of them and I felt really dumb. And I was standing on this machine, I didn't know how to program it, and this really happy lady came over. Her name was Kiki. And she said, I'll help you. Do you want to jog up the mountain or do you just want to walk up the mountain? I said, well, Kiki. If possible, I would like to avoid the mountain. And now they tell you how many calories you're burning. That couldn't be more depressing, could it? I'm standing there in a pool of sweat, with legs like noodles. I've burned 60 calories. That should take care of that peanut I ate in 1962. And I buy anything that says low fat. I love low fat. They're not real specific. They don't say lower than what? Lower than a great big old cup of fat? Liposuction sounded good, but then I read they can accidentally vacuum out internal organs that you're using. And I don't want to be disgusting, but they've got these new techniques. They can suck the fat out of one part of your body and then put it into other parts. Boy, that's a bad idea. I want them to suck the fat out of my body and put it into Cindy Crawford. The easier, the better. They've got this new cream. Have you seen the new cream? You just rub it on your thighs. If it really worked, wouldn't it make your hand thinner? And my husband hates to exercise too, but he likes the equipment. He bought a bike. He just couldn't buy the bike. He had to buy the knee pads and the elbow pads and the goggles, and it was a stationary bike. We've been busy, though. We bought a new house. I didn't really want a new house, but it came with a free lipstick. I love saying it. This is our new house. This is our new house. Like we own the house. We don't own the house. The bank owns the house. Which is normal, I guess, but they've started to invite people over. We had to move after the earthquake. Everything was gone. The only dishes we had left were in the dishwasher, which leads me to believe the safest place to be during an earthquake is in a dishwasher. We have these two giant dishwashers in our bedroom now. My friend's little boy had the best reaction to the earthquake. The walls shook, the paintings flew across the room, and my friend ran into her little boy's room to see if he was okay, and he was lying there very still in bed and said, "I didn't do it." We just got a new high-tech burglar alarm. They're hard to work, those alarms. We came back home the first day, and my husband couldn't remember the code to turn it off. And the sirens started going, and the police came, and he was too embarrassed to admit he'd forgotten the code, so he turned himself in. You have to have protection, though. I bought that little pepper spray. Have you seen that? It's great. I use it on steak. And I've already seized control of the bathroom. I used military techniques. I infiltrated the areas around the bathtub with all of my things, my shampoos, bath gels, conditioners, etc. Then I marched into the area above the sink and surrounded that with all of my things. Then I stormed the area underneath the sink and I occupied that with all of my things. And one day he just walked in and surrendered. And now he shaves in the backyard with a hose. He only had a toothbrush and a razor in the bathroom. But they were really in my way. I think we have a good relationship. I get the good bathroom, he gets the good car. Don't you think that's fair? Because men love their cars. What's your name right here in the front?
Clark.
Hello, Clark. How are you tonight?
Good, thank you.
Do you love your car, Clark? Yes, Clark loves his car. What kind of car do you have, Clark?
A BMW.
BMW. Ask me what kind of car I have, Clark.
What kind of car do you have?
I have a white car. That's all I need to know, Clark. It goes with everything. Not only is it a white car, it's a dirty white car. It's so dirty, I'm proud of it. Most people pay extra for those dark-tinted windows. Mine are organic. My husband just got a convertible. He loves it. He's so excited about it. It's always been his dream. And I'm very excited about it, too, because it's also always been a dream of mine to arrive every place looking like Don King. It's very hard on your hair, those convertibles. That's why most men who drive them are bald. Their hair has just blown right off. I think men love their cars because it's a place where they can really swear. Boy, can my husband swear inside of that car. I told you he's English. Outside of the car, he's a perfect English gentleman. Inside of the car, he's a sailor with Tourette's syndrome. I like clothes, that's my downfall. He'll come shopping with me, but he requires one thing in a ladies' clothing store. He requires a ladies' clothing store that has a chair, right? You should see his eyes light up when he sees the chair. Sometimes we go into a ladies' clothing store and there's a chair, but there's already a comatose man sitting in the chair. I think they should construct some type of bleacher formation. Men will stay longer if they feel like they're at a game. I like catalog shopping. You just order what you see, you pick up the phone and it comes, but sometimes the dress looks really great in the catalog and it comes and it's really ugly, so I have to send it back and I write on the box, just looking. Just looking. Those are the two most important words in your shopping life. You look directly at your saleswoman and you say, just looking. And that neutralizes her. And she goes in search of other prey. I'm bad at returning things. I'm always afraid the saleswomen are going to yell at me, so now whenever I return something, I wear a disguise. Who's going to yell at the Pope? I wonder if anyone ever does yell at the Pope. Do you think anyone ever says, you know, I have just about had it with that holier-than-thou attitude of yours? My husband likes me to wear tight things. I hate tight things. We'll be going out to dinner and he'll say, I don't want to wear a tie. Please don't make me wear a tie. I can't talk. I can't drink. It gives me left. I say, okay, don't wear a tie. What should I wear? How about that iron bustier I bought for you? And I never criticize anything he's wearing. He says, how do I look? I say, fantastic. Because he doesn't want me to criticize. He doesn't want to change. He just wants me to say fantastic, and that's what I say. He came out once. He was wearing so many different patterns, it looked like he was moving towards me. He said, how do I look? I said, fantastic. He won't try anything on, even shoes. He'll just hold the box up to the light and say, yeah, these fit. And I do have a little announcement of sorts tonight because we have been married 7 years and it was inevitable. We've begun to long for the pitter-patter of little feet. So we bought a doll. Thank you. Well, it's cheaper, and you get more feet. I love my dog, and he's not a child substitute. At least that's what his pediatrician says. We got him from a pound in Las Vegas, and I was a little nervous about what a dog from Vegas would be like. But it turned out he's just like any other little dog, except he stays up really late. And he smokes. He's a mixed breed. We've always had mixed breeds. When I was growing up, we had a Doberman Shepherd. Very confused dog. Kept attacking blind people. And my husband has never had a dog before. You know, men teach dogs different tricks than women teach dogs. I didn't know this. My husband came home. I said, "Look, I taught him to sit." I came home. He said, "Look, if you put him on the roof and light his tail, he jumps into the pool." And I'm the last of my friends. Everyone has had a baby, even my friend, the lesbian librarian, has become artificially inseminated by a gay podiatrist. Boy, there's a kid who's going to have some sensible shoes. It's natural childbirth that scares me. I think before you have natural childbirth, you should find out how big the baby's going to be. 3 pounds, natural childbirth. Anything over that, heroin. Because I have a friend, she's teeny. She's 4'6", and her baby weighed 18 pounds. And she didn't have a cesarean. She had dynamite. They're taking bets on who walks first, her or the baby. I have another friend who's 11 months pregnant. They took a sonogram. The kid has a phone and a TV, and he's not moving. I have another friend, they have 4 boys, and she decided to try one more time to have a girl. They bought that book on how to have a girl, but I don't think it's a very good book. They did everything they were supposed to do. He spun around 3 times. She wore a helmet. They got a boy who likes ballet and headgear. And my mother is petrified that I'm going to postpone this too long, and later on I'm going to really want to have a baby, and then I'm not going to be able to, and then, boy, am I going to be sorry. I don't think so. You know why? I read a great article. If worse comes to worse, I get too old. So easy now, I could just freeze my eggs. And later on, when I'm ready, I can get pregnant in a dish. That's how easy it is. So I told this to my mother in order to calm her fears. And this look of horror came over her face. And she said, "Not a good dish." Well, thank you all for being such a great audience. Does anyone have any questions or any answers, or would anyone care for a mint? You can just yell it out. You don't have to raise your hand. Yes?
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Oh, standing up and everything. You get an A.
I was just wondering what you think of our McCullum Theater, and will you come back to see us in Palm Springs real soon?
I will come to see. I love the theater, and I will come to see you as soon as I have a new act. Thank you very much. I like Palm Springs, but it does get a little hot here in the summer. I was here last summer. It was 700 degrees. And people still sunbathe. I don't know how they do it. There was a woman by the pool, I could tell she was done because her belly button had popped up. Any other questions? Pardon?
I said, did you finish making your movie in Temecula?
Yes, you knew about the movie in Temecula. Excellent. Yes, we finished it. I think it's out in the fall. It stars Jack Lemmon and Dudley Moore and Richard Lewis, and I accidentally wrote a part for myself. I don't know how that happened. And if you go see it, I think I'm going to go clean all the movie theaters myself because I hate dirty movie theaters. I had to sit and watch a movie twice once just because I couldn't get my feet unstuck. Any other questions? Yes?
What about OJ?
Oh. OJ who? The trial's getting kind of long, isn't it? Yeah, a little slow. I think Judge Ito should sit behind some drums. I like Marcia Clark, though. Don't you like her? Isn't she? She's a good role model for women, but even Marcia has trouble combining her professional self with her feminine self. And she does. Have you seen her? Your Honor, that is an egregious outrage of justice. The people are disgusted. Anything else? No? Well, you've been a great audience. Thank you so much. And sometimes people ask me if my husband minds that I tell jokes about our relationship in my act, and no, he doesn't. To answer that question, we're very happy. I'm very lucky. And today, I guess it's because our anniversary, because he's not a sentimental guy. He looked at me and said, you know, I really love you. I know, I couldn't believe it either. And I looked at him and said, why did you say it like that? Thank you very, very much. Good night. While you're up and you're on your way to the car, why don't you walk the dog? Now, this is my little doggy Bonkers, who's named after my grandfather, who's crazy. And he went to the hairdresser's today. He's come here. He's had a little Rod Stewart accident. Come, Bonkers, come look at the camera over here. Okay, and he's been practicing something he really wants to say to you. Come, one sec. Bonkers, sit. Sit. Good boy. Bonkers, Bonkers. Say HBO. Bonkers. Bonkers, say HBO. Good boy. Bonkers, say it. Bonkers, come here. He's shy. Bonkers, say HBO. Come on, look at me. Bonkers, say thank you. Bonkers, well, try say thank you. Say thank you. Good boy. Almost. Wait. Come here, my boy. Come on, let's try one more time. Bonkers, sit. Good boy. Oh. Bonkers, this is so wrong of you. Come over here. Sit right here. Good boy. Ah, good boy. Okay, say HBO. Good boy, almost. Say HBO. Bonkers, say HBO. Good boy, say HBO. Yeah!